Builder fam, look, Kyle canceled. We had a guest drop out, so you're stuck with me today. We lived through a terrible job recently, and there's a lot of lessons to be learned when things get screwed up. So I'm taking you for that journey today. A life in the day of complete fence and a jacked up job, and some of the lessons we get to learn when stuff doesn't go as you want it to. I hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you next time. Good morning, Builder fam. So look, it's another unfortunate day where a couple guests canceled on us, and we have to make a show. So you're going to have to listen to me talk, run my suck. And I figured, a big thing for me is just authenticity. So we're going to tell an authentic story that like most people wouldn't want to tell. We're going to talk about one of the worst jobs that we've ever run, and it's there's like 2 or 3 of these in my career. So my first thing would be like, look, if you're listening to this and you run a small specialty contracting business, you're going to have bad jobs. Like, you're not alone. Nobody's got it all figured out. Anybody that tells you that they don't have bad jobs is a freaking liar. I guarantee it. I guarantee they're lying. And if they don't want to talk about the jobs that went bad, then I don't know that you want to get coached by them. To be honest, I don't know. Like, there's nobody. I've not met anybody successful that doesn't live into their failures. So that's my first lesson is like, listen, if you did a bad job, upset a GC, blah, 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 you're not alone and it's okay. It's really not that you failed. It's how you get out of it, I think. And we have, one of our tributary strengths is like we put ourselves in some bad spots and we always try to get out of them. We always fight all the way to the finish. We don't give up. Like we stick with it even when we're dealt with unfair. So that's a big deal. It's really not. And I think Scott put this up? My dad told me this years ago. It's like, you're actually better off to go do a bad job and recover than you are for nothing to go wrong. Because people remember like how you fix things. That's not necessarily true. I wouldn't encourage you to go out trying to make mistakes, but think about it, right? If you're a fence contractor, work for GC, you're probably 1% of the budget. They don't know your name. That's a good thing, but they'll never know your name. Now, if something goes wrong, particularly the hope would be that they do something wrong and they need you to bail them out, which we're having. That situation's happening right now. And then they can remember you for like really sticking in it with them, figuring it out, being problem solving oriented, being relational oriented, not being greedy, not being selfish, all that, right? So I would just say like lesson 1, bad jobs are going to happen. You're not alone, particularly for my fence guys. Like, they forget about us, the fencers, the landscapers, and the pavers. Like, we're the forgotten outsiders. We're going to make a shirt for that. But so it's okay. It's not how you fail. It's how you get out of it. My second thing would be, and this took me a long time. So this took me a long time of being like the little old fence guy, the know nothing dumb dick that they treated. That's how we typically get treated, right? Like, we're not expensive scope, we're not critical scope, but they need us to get occupancy, right? If you have, they can't get their occupancy if they don't have their dumpster enclosures. So like, we are critical, but we're small. Typically, we're dealing with an engineer, not a senior PM, maybe a junior PM or a super that really like. They don't manage us that well. Not always, but like if you're getting into the commercial space, you have to be prepared to manage your customers, your success through your customers, right? They're not worried about you. They're assuming like contrary to what I just said, like your job when you work for GC is to be forgotten. That is your job, is to make sure that you get all your ducks in a row, so that they don't have to babysit you. They don't have to call you. They don't have to follow up with you. Like if you're waiting on a submittal from them and you're waiting for them to take the initiative to get you your submittal back, you're like wrong. They're not worried about your submittal. They're assuming that and this is most of them, they're assuming they call you and the fence is going to appear within a week's time. That's what they assume. They don't know that you have 300 jobs. They don't care that you have 300 jobs, 400 jobs, 1,000 jobs. They don't care that that can't be your only project. They're not cognizant of that. So like, we have to manage, the specialty, particularly my fencers and landscapers, like we got to be good enough that they can't get in the way of our success. Another thing, they're going to call. So it sounds like, I think we've seen this in our business. The PM says, hey, I need the fencer out here. The super says, okay, we'll get the fencer out here. Nobody goes and walks and says, is it staked? Is it deconflicted? Is the grading done? Is it like, nobody's prepping for you. So again, like you've got to be an agent of your own success. And then finally, this would maybe be the first thing is like, you got to know who you're working with. This is something that took me a long, long time because my business is so jacked up. We had all of our own issues. Is like, you got to evaluate the people that are on the other side of this call, the people that are on the other side of the contract. Sure, it looks nice. You're going to get the contract. Your numbers were where they were supposed to be. But if you don't know them and you don't have a relationship with them, this is a policy we just instituted over this job that I'm going to tell you guys about. Like, I wouldn't take the job unless they give you the spread. I would ask the question, how far off is that? Like, we don't ever want to be low bidder significantly, right? There's times where we're like, we really want this job and like, we're going to buy it because we want the relationship or whatever. But like, that should be intentional. And like, I don't trust any GC that's not going to tell me that. Like, if somebody's buying the job because you were over 20% off, they're just, and this speaks to the whole depravity of the entire ecosystem. It's cheap, 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 but we want quality, we want speed, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, you awarded low. Everybody's getting awards on low. Nobody's looking at like quality, not nobody, but selectively people care about quality, but it's all low, it's all cheap, and then they want the moon. It's like, whoa. And they don't want change orders. It's like, it's one or the other. Either you go with the guy that says, hey, I'm not going to write any change orders. Like, I've got everything included. I've taken care of the nuance. And you can win that way with the right GCs. But the logos, all the public bids, all the government money, it's just asking for a disaster. But when you're doing it through a GC and they don't want to give you the feedback of how your number looked, that tells you something. One, they don't care about you. Two, you probably missed something, right? Why wouldn't they tell you? It's like, no, it's like that answer that won't, it's awkward, but that's what we're going to start doing now, because any new GC that doesn't know us, that's writing us a contract, and we don't have a good sales story for how we ran the race and why we earned the job over the next guy, is like, well, then you need to answer the question is, what was the spread? How low were you? Because arguably, we're only getting that job because estimating made a mistake. You made a mistake and you missed something, and it's going to sneak up and bite us. And if the GC, the PM, the people writing us the award don't want to talk about that, we don't have to trust them. We don't have to like them. We don't have to work with them. They're not partners. They're hiring a vendor. They don't care about us or our well-being, obviously. And that's telling. And this is kind of a note, now that, like, I don't know, it's like when you start advertising as a successful human, like now that we've built a $100 million specialty defense contract in business, I can speak to a thing or two. And like, the question I have now is for the PMs is, what kind of PM are you? Are you a collaborative leader? Or are you a litigating dictator, right? Like, and a collaborative leader says, this is my fault, right? And I will send this book to this client we just worked for, because it was our bad, because that's what we do. We take ownership. Like, that's what accountability is. It was our bad. We did a poor job. But the interesting thing is, our leader didn't want to take any accountability for it. There was no teamwork to get out of this. This was just like, we're going to stick our finger in each other's chest. And it's like, so this message goes for the PMs. Like, who do you want to be? You want to be a collaborative leader? You want to be a leader that says, hey guys, like, together we got this off the rails. Let's get this back on the rails. Or you want to be a cocksucker that writes emails at night saying, I'm going to replace you. Right. And like, you can go either way. Nobody wants to work for you when you do the latter. And that should be like a note of like, extremely, I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to get to litigating. Like, litigating is dumb. And, so yeah, I mean, and I tell this to my PMs, it's like, we always opt for collaboration. Like, if somebody's trying to stick their finger in your chest, you get on a call and say, hey, are we working together or are we working against each other? And like, I see it all the time in our industry. And I think I've said this on here. It's like, we got an owner, then we got a developer, then we got a developer's rep, and then another series of owners reps, and then we get a GC, and then they've got like a bunch of people, and then, architect, engineer, reps, GC, reps. Then we get to the specialty guys, and every person in that chain is preparing to litigate to ensure that they don't have any risk, right? And they pass it all the way forward. There's no kinder teamwork in that. It is owner versus GC versus sub, owner versus engineer versus architect versus GC versus sub. It's never like, hey, this is my team. I don't want to say never. It's very rarely like, hey, we're one team, one dream. Let's get this thing done on time, under budget. Let's not do any of the antics. Let's not fight with each other. Like, it's very ascertainable to work in the environment that I'm outlining, but not when our contracts are all written by a bunch of prick-ass lawyers and insurance people that all they're trying to do is subrogate the risk down to the people that can't really bear it. And that should be the most valuable in the chain. Those of us that have the labor, that's who you guys should value above all else. But all we do is pass insurance risk, past injury risk, everything is passed through so that nobody's liable but the last that's on the job site. So anyway, my encouragement, just if a PM's listening to this, is like, what kind of leader do you want to be? What kind of project manager do you want to be? And if you're learning from somebody that is taking steps in order to make sure that you have your heckles in the subs and can F them later and can fire them or can take money for them and can hurt them, if that's the adage, like, go find a new mentor, because there's a much better way. And I've worked for the best of them. And Randy, I won't use your name, but like I love this man. Like he should be a coach. He should be putting together a program. Like he just understood how to do project management in a way that made everybody that worked for him want to do better, right? And that's what leadership is. It's like, I just don't want to disappoint Randy. Now this, I'm going to call him freaking Billy Bob. Like this, we'll call him Billy Bob. Like, so look, the job, this is the most, I'm not going to lead with like my defense, because I don't think defense matters, but there was like four or five scope items, out of state job. Looking back, I think we actually bid it okay. Like it was an okay bid. We had no business with the job. You know, it was like a $300,000-$400,000 job, like, which is a smaller project for us to be traveling for. In my deal, and I don't want to say the state, but like I would have rather called some of my friends from the AFA and like passed it forward in hindsight, and that's what we should have done. But had a leader sell it that didn't know what she was doing, which is on me, right? That's on me. I'm very much a remote visionary owner at this point. I'm not like managing the day-to-day, but I did not set conditions for us to do the right thing with this job. So this is me taking like total ownership of the situation. And we've got 4 scopes, and we had a junior project manager, which my people promoted. I said we shouldn't do that, but you got to let people let people make their bed. And it's like, and then we've got a superintendent that really doesn't want that kind of accountability and isn't like really clear and isn't empowered and enabled to like really take charge and make sure that everything goes well. So I've got, now 3 of the wrong people on this project, and it went sideways. Look, we didn't order it right. We were missing this, missing that. We sent the crew, and it didn't go well. And then there was legitimate problems on the job that were unrelated to us. But by the time we had gotten out there, they were on their last leg. We had told them we were coming for a week or 2 and didn't come. And that's not the issue. What I'm most embarrassed about is like, we just have to communicate. Normally, everybody's on. It's fine if you say, "Hey, I can't make it." I know we're supposed to be there, but we weren't doing that really well. Our systems weren't quite robust enough. Like it was very bad. I just want to be very clear. I'm not out here saying like this is we do 1 or 2 of these a year where we just kind of bungle it up. It's just like a total blow. It's like, and it's hard to recover, and we look stupid. Why am I telling this? Is just, I want you to know it's okay. Like, I think it's okay. We've done that. We do that. We do 500 jobs a year, and if we have 5 to 10 ones that don't sound great, like, you're not alone. But anyway, so we do a terrible job. Like, for all intents and purposes, we do a terrible job. And so we get to the end, and like we fight through it, and there's one gate that we're missing, so we can't finish. That's going to be a separate mob. And GC's pretty understanding about that, but they've got these, I think, dumpster gates, and there was like a specialty gates. I'm not going to use the vendor's name, but there was like a specialty anchor that didn't come with the gate that we thought was going to come with the gate. Stupid, totally on us, stupid. But we also thought that we could just use these other anchors that didn't hold, that didn't work. And so we get to the wire. We're like, we've been put on notice, right? The notice is like, if you're not finished by this date, which is like when anybody's putting you on notice, I think it was appropriate. We deserve to be on notice, I would say. Like, it's like, okay, they didn't want to have to do that, but they had to protect themselves. But then we get down to the end, everything is done, and we're there finishing up some punch list work that some messy stuff that we shouldn't have done. The crew, go figure, right? The wrong crew was on it and didn't do the footings right. So like, it was completely just a disaster of a job, like bad to go. But then we're at the end, and the hinges that we were waiting for, the anchors that we were waiting for, are lost, right? They're lost. And so now we got to send our superintendent down to go find these anchors. And my people are like, I think the GC's messing with them. Like, why would they be messing with us? And then my super gets there all day. The GC super couldn't help our guys find these anchors to be done. And he had the audacity, like, to send an email Friday night that's like, we have additional labor that's going to come out here and do your job if you can. And it's like, why would you send that? Like, you know that you guys received the anchors, like, you received them, you lost them. Not only did you not help us find them, my super had to travel across the country to come find something on your job site. Like, look, the answer is, hey, well, why are you asking the GC? We should have found them. We couldn't find them. My guys are convinced that he hid them from us. And it's like, dude, if you just wanted us off the job and you want my money, like just call me. And I did. I called him Monday. I said, listen, if you just want to pay somebody else, like we're just trying to finish. Like, are we working together or are you working against us? I have no idea if he hid the hinges. It doesn't make any sense to me. But it also doesn't make any sense if he wanted to help us get the job done, why somebody from out of state, like they received them, the GC received them, some name that wasn't ours, why he wasn't sure to make sure that the fence guy got them. Doesn't make any sense to me. And it's like you send in an email that you have additional labor. It's like you just don't want us to finish. The wildest thing is the concrete that we were anchoring into wasn't coordinated appropriately, right? It sloped away. So we have a plate and it slopes away. So now we got to shim it and it's very jank. And the bolt hole is all the way at the end up against the building. So it cracked the concrete. And like, that's not our fault. Like that's per the design. What do we do? And I'm like sitting here, Billy Bob, I know is going to blame me. And it's like, well, now we got to drill through hardened steel. We don't have a drill to do that. So we got to go and do all that stuff. And like, we should be getting a change order, but like, because we got off the rails, like we can't ask for more money. Like we like screwed this up. We can't ask for more money. But if Billy Bob comes to the end of this job and decides that he's going to try to take money from us because of one thing or the other, or blame us, like we had to void the warranty on that product because like the holes were not drilled appropriately. And like, we probably should have caught it, but the concrete maybe wasn't poured right. Like, I don't know. Like, but it's like those litigations that are not good. And like, once it goes hostile, once the PM goes hostile and is sending emails, like threatening additional labor for which additional labor won't fix a missing anchor problem. Like our guys are out there, like, what are you doing? And so I think like for my specialty guys is like, understand when you're dealing with the GC and like, you can always reset the deck if you're willing, if you like recognize that you're probably as capable or if not more capable than the people that are running you. It's like, you just get on the phone and say, hey, like we've done a bad job. Are we on the same team? Like, if you don't want us to do the job, like if you don't want us, like, let's like figure that out now. Cause I don't want to fight against you. I don't want to spend the rest of the job fighting. And I should have done that sooner because I'm drawing a little closer to it for different reasons. I'm not going to, I've seen this rodeo when you like want to mother F us and then we want to mother F you and you're sending nasty emails at night that don't help anybody get anything done. It's like, hey man, like you should read Jocko's book because this is the wildest thing. If he had been Billy Bob, and I'm not taking this stance, like we screwed up, we own the job, but Mr. Billy Bob is very worried about hitting his schedule date a week, 2 weeks before his schedule date. He wasn't worried about it when we wanted to start that job 3 weeks sooner, and he wasn't ready for us. And what we didn't do is tell him that, hey, this job's going to go sideways if you don't let us get in there so we have enough time. Like, what he didn't do, and this is Billy Bob, like if Billy Bob wanted to be a Randy type PM, he owns it. He knows you can't bring your fence guys in on the last month of the last week to hit your deadline. Like you don't build yourself any margin that way. And it's like, look, like you should be able to trust your fence guy. And like, honestly, I'm disappointed that he couldn't. Like that's our job. Normally that's what we do. So we make sure when they call, we're ready. And we didn't. We just did not do that. And like, I know my trade well enough to know that like if he's running enough jobs, he would be silly to think that he's going to call the fence guy. They're going to show up, have everything they need and knock this thing out in the 2 weeks that the scheduled work for and hit his date. Should have been worried about that a month sooner, right? If he's going to take ownership of this thing and not be going back to his customer saying, I got a really bad fence guy, my bad, or whatever. It's like, no, I failed to manage. I failed to lead. I failed to set conditions to make sure that they were successful. And like, look, like that's what leadership looks like. And Billy Bob, maybe one day he'll listen to this and be like, screw that guy. But there's a lot of Billy Bobs out there. There's not a lot of Randys. The Randys of the world said, hey, we got here together. We're going to get out together, right? Like I should have gotten you out here earlier. I should have been ready. Like I lead with accountability. Like I take ownership of this situation, but you also suck right now. Like you're making my life hell. So fix yourself. Please fix yourself. Get me a schedule that I can rely upon. Like do what you need to do. I'm not going to give you more money because I think you failed. Like generally, I'd offer you more money to get it done because that's how important it is to me. But I can't because you've screwed this up. So please get this done. And then guess what? That's the guy we want to work for. Randy, we want to work for. Billy Bob, like, dude, it's kind of like you're just an asshole, bro. You're just an asshole. Nobody cares about you. You don't care about us. We don't trust you. You don't pretend to trust us or want to have respect for us or our jobs. And like, it's just unfortunate. So if there's a PM that gets this, my recommendation is like collaborate, don't litigate. It's just so much better. We're all on the same team. You want it done on time. under budget. We want to make money and get done on time and please your customer and come back for the next job. And it's not that hard. So, yeah, my guidance to the PMs of the world is like, particularly on the specialty side, is like, make no mistake about it. There's a lot of kids coming out of college that are getting titles and jobs that they shouldn't, and they don't know what they're doing. And so you probably out experience them. You don't need to flex on that, but you need to recognize that like you are not inferior, right? It's a partnership. It took me a long time. If you don't have 10 years of experience, you might not want to flex that muscle. Like it took us a while to learn that. And so evaluate on what's on the other side. You know, if you got a dictator, a Billy Bob, which is a dictator that doesn't care about anybody's well-being but his customers and doesn't realize that he's like, you know, shitting on the people that are going to help him get to the end zone, right? If you got a Billy Bob, you should run play A, right? And if you got a Randy, you run plan B. You worship Randys. You lose money for Randy. Always. You lose money for Randy. Why? Because Randy will take care of you. Randy will remember. Randy will bring you more work that you want. Billy Bob, you don't really want to work for Billy Bob anymore. And like we're going to set this up. This is cool. Kyle doesn't even know this, but we're going to set it up so that you can know if you're working for Billy Bob or Randy, right? Like I think Randy's numbers should be different than Billy Bob's and contractors. And this is what was really interesting when I went and looked up this company, and I knew it, right? Like when he started writing, and normally I'm pretty thick skinned. It's like, I don't get upset, but then when we've mobilized 7 times, we've reordered this, like we've demonstrated that we are committed to finishing this project, right? We screwed up, but we're going to make it right. And he's still writing mother F emails like an ass. I was like, I got to look these people up. And I knew it. And I'm sorry to the A&Es. They're suits. The company is run by suits. It has no heart. They're not builders. They're architects and engineers. They're designers that are running a design company. And they don't care. They don't understand what it takes to build things. They're designers. They're designers. And you can tell. I was looking. I figured it'd be an insurance guy, a lawyer, or an A&E. And I don't mean anything bad about all A&Es. Like A&Es, a lot of A&Es understand how to build things. But you can tell when you're working for a company that's run by lawyers, insurance people, and/or designers versus people that are actually builders, that have actually been in the field, that have actually laced up their boots, that understand and respect what goes on. And this company absolutely is not that. Absolutely is not that. It's very clear. It's very clear. The 2 founders. And they're on the emails. And it's hard because it's like, I know I could run circles around them. I know I could. I know I could teach them something, but it's hard for me. I don't have Vantage when we run the job like hell, but normally I can reset that deck. It's like, let's get on a call here. Like, why do you got Billy Bob writing nasty emails? Like, is this helpful? You guys find this helpful? Is this just so you can show your customer that like, it's all our fault? Like, that's fine. Just say it. Call us and say, hey, we need to make you look like shit so we can try to restore our image to our customer. Like, sorry that we're making you feel like shit, but it's just like, it's just dumb. It's just a dumb way to run a business. And to that company, if they ever see this, like, we'd love to sit with you guys. I would love to sit with you guys. Like, we screwed it up, but y'all took it from bad to worse. Oh, this was the thing. Did I say this already? Like, they weren't ready 3 weeks earlier. They were not ready. We tried to mob earlier. We would have had 3 extra weeks to F around. They weren't ready. And I don't have the ability to say that because we didn't lead the project well enough, but we should have been. We should have had the Trump card of like, hey, we were trying to go in August. You pushed us back to October. So do not try to be blaming us for liquidated damages. And for my specialty guys, like I would just say this happens more than not. This happens more than not. And it took me 10 years to kind of go, oh, we're not just, it's not always our fault, right? It's like you get your systems all chaotic and your GC's disorganized and they're asking for the moon and you just assume that it's your fault. But like, it's not. They make a lot of mistakes. They'll ask you to come out and the site's not ready. I mean, that should be a mobilization. And it's like, you got to work together and navigate some of those relationships. So I suppose my 3 things for today is like, it's okay, guys. Like, it's really okay. Nobody's perfect in contracting. There's too much coordination and the conditions are set for us to just be fighting with each other all the time. So like, it's okay. You're going to screw jobs up. It's not how you screw them up. It's how you get out of them. And like, normally you can do it in a restorative way, right? And most of the jobs that we get in trouble on that I've been a part of, we build everlasting relationships. Like that's where some of my best relationships come from because it really, no plan survives first contact, right? And it's not how you fail, it's how you get back up and how you work through to solve. So most of my failures, and legitimately, most of my failures are some of my greatest successes. So it's okay. It's okay to fail. 2, like if you're a PM on either side, like collaborate or litigate. Like, who do you want to be? You want to be Billy Bob or you want to be Randy? I strongly encourage you guys to channel your inner Randy. I got to get with Kyle. I don't know when he's going to launch his mentorship thing, but like that's something we really want to do. Him on the PM side, me on the small business side. And then, oh no, somewhere only 2 lessons. Maybe I only had 2. I mean, I think the one thing I would just say for the specialty guys is like, they're not as organized as you think they are. You have to manage them and recognize that you might have superior planning capability than the people you're working for. Oh, that's the thing. It's like, figure out if you're working for a Randy or a Billy Bob. Like, know who's on the other side of that, right? Ahead of time. And to be honest with you guys, like, and I think Scott Keflin says this best, it's like the best 3 jobs of the year were the 3 you said no to, the ones you didn't take. So there's a lot of truth in that. And that is your solo riff with Kev. I'd say, look, we're going to be, I'm against ads. I'm against people subscribing to me. I'm against like bullshit. Like, but we do need sponsors, and we've got some cool ideas for how we're going to sponsor this. But so if you know anybody that would be a good sponsor for the Atomic Construction podcast, that'd be sick. We're going to do some surveys. So if you see some surveys start coming through some of the FB groups, your interaction with that's great. And if you know anybody that would be a cool guest, let us know. The whole mission here is to elevate the trades. Really 3: elevate the trades, fix the not harmonic supply chain that is the trades, and make it easier for people to get in to the trades. Make the trades cool again. Make the trades great again, maybe. Because I think the trades are awesome. And so if you're a builder, I adore you, I respect you, and I think the nation should cherish you. And we're going to give you a voice. So if you want to get on here, you're invited. Look, you're not alone. Everybody makes mistakes. Learn from them. That's a big thing. I'm a big fail forward guy. Like, apparently somebody wrote that book. They wrote my book for me. I think I'm the best failure around town. If you want some mentorship, I think Kyle's going to be offering something. I really want to do. I'm going to start doing a small business call monthly. It's like, I don't want to charge for it yet. Like, I had this bugaboo about like, hey, I want to help people, and I'm going to charge them a bunch of money to help them. So if you would be interested in that, like shoot us a message at Ivory Impact or put it in the comments. I think I've ascertained a certain level of success. It was a certain level of pain and agony, and my hope is that it took me 15, 20, it's actually 20 total, 20 total years to get here. I think if I could get somebody 25% of that in a relative 25% of the time, like, that's going to be fun for me. That's what I want to do. So, and if you know somebody that should be on the show, tag them. This is a platform for all builders, anybody in the space. It's not mine, it's yours, and I want to give it back. So, that's what we're up to. Thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and stay tuned. We're going to be running some surveys, so you'll see them coming to the Facebook groups. We really want to take the data and give it back to the trades. Like, there's so many things I'm curious about. Like, what's the official truck of the trades? Like, is it Caterpillar versus Bobcat? Is it Milwaukee versus DeWalt? Right? Like, what is the official? What do the carpenters think? What do the fencers think? All that stuff. Like, we're gonna dig into that. It's fun. It's gonna be great, and we're gonna try to make this a community for good, for the builder, and make things easier for the struggling builder, particularly the small contractors. That's like, my heart goes out to y'all. So that's what we're here for. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.